Yeah, hello traders. How are you? Hope you are enjoying your day. It's your boy Truth Only. I'm back to teach you today about pick trades. One thing that I just want to mention, if you're a forex trader, give you a lot of time to your charts. You discover a lot. You see that there's a way the market moves, and if you try to make tricks that helps you fight the market, eventually you will make it. Without wasting your time, today I want to look about the type of my third type of trades which I took, but I don't like this trade that much, but it's another good trade. It just depends with what you favor the most, but I want to talk about pick trades. So in pick trades, we've got about 4 types of patterns that might show on your charts. The first one are the M's, the second are the W's, third we can talk about the head and shoulders, and fourth a half a Batman. Okay, let me try to show what we mean here. Right. Okay. So as I said, in being the market maker, we need 3 levels before the end of a trend, right? So this will be level 1, level 2, level 3, right? As we come here to the end of the trend, which is our level 3, we sometimes the market might give us an aim before changing direction, right? This is the first instance that we might have. On the next one, the market might that was an uptrend. If it is a downtrend, we are looking for something like this: level 1, level 2, level 3. Here, before the market changed the direction, it might give us an aim before it goes up, right? This is our number 2 type of pattern that the market might display to us. On the third, we might have the head and shoulder. What happens with the head and shoulder? We've got a structure something like this. We had our 3 levels, 1 2. Let me rub here. First we had the 3 levels, 1 2 3 levels going up. It was an uptrend, right? Here the market might give us a structure like this. These become the head and shoulder. This becomes sorry. These two becomes the shoulders, and this one here becomes the head, right? So the market might gives us another structure like this, which is called the head and shoulders, right? Also, we can have what we call a half a Batman. What is it that we call a half a Batman? Let's say it was now a downtrend, right? We had 1 2 3 pushes, right? We are now in level 3. Mind you, the dealer is there to confuse you, give you emotions, and take money from you. So the type of patterns he displays vary. Sometimes you are waiting for an aim. Let's say you want to take your trades on this is the first, this is the second leg, right? You want to take your trades, you want to take your trades here on the second leg. So you will be waiting that the price is at least to reach somewhere near the second leg for you to enter, near the first leg for you to enter. But the dealer might give you something like this. With level 3, right? The dealer might might give you your first leg, right? But on the second leg, he might not give you what you really think. He might do something like this. This becomes the half abutment. So you should be familiar with these types of patterns that the market displays to you, right? So we might jump into real charts and try to look for some of these things, right? Let me see. Right, yeah, I will try to use some arrows so that you can see what I'm talking about. Right, this was a, yeah, this was a pick, right? What did the dealer give us here? He gave us a head and shoulder pattern here. If you can see here, here we had this one, a shoulder. Also we have this one, another shoulder, this one, another shoulder, and this one becomes the head. This one, let me show you, this one becomes the head. So this was a peak. If you can see here, that was what the dealer gave us. He gave us a head and shoulder pattern. Okay, let me look for another one. Mind you, I like step index and V251S. So most of the time that are the charts I will be looking at. Mind you, it is also good to specialize when it comes to forex. Sometimes you can discover some tricks about the a pair you specialize on, right? Okay, yeah. Now here, the dealer gave us an M. Yeah, if you can see, we only have got two legs here. The first one is this one. I'm sorry, I was on M, on H1. Okay, yeah, the first one, this was the first leg, this one. Then he gave us the second leg, and then the market fall down, as you can see, from the top down to the bottom, if you can see, right? So this was an M. We talked about the head and shoulders. Let me try and see if I can find a half a bit, man. Okay, let me see where, if I can get a half a bit, man. This is like something like, oh, okay, I'm not finding a proper half abutment to show you, but if you happen to find a half abutment, I think I showed you the simplest version of how it looks like. We want to talk about, let me go back to my notes. We want to continue. We're saying peak formation. We usually find a peak formation in level 3, as I have illustrated here, that after having finished, after having completed our 3 levels, right? 1, 2, 3. After having the 3 levels, this is where we expect our aim and aim at the peak. Here it becomes our peak. So we say we are to find the peak in level 3, right? Okay, but one thing that you have to take into consideration is that you can see here, okay, let me rub this one. We had 3 levels, right? Now what you have to know is that the the way the peak forms, it's a stop hand. What do we mean when we say it's a stop hand? A stop hand is a fake move in that opposes the direction, the real trend direction. For instance, you can see here, if we are going to, now we are expecting that this was our peak here. Maybe it's high of the week, right? Maybe it's high of the week, right? If you can see here, price might start to fall down and you think that it's going down, but then price might take an upward movement. This upward movement is what we call the stop hand. This move is what we call the stop hand because it's opposing the real direction of the market. After the stop hand, then the market will go down for sure, right? And but one another thing that you have to know is that the peak marks, yes, our peak, right? The peak marks the end of this uptrend. We had three levels, so we had an uptrend going up. Then now the peaks marks the end of the uptrend, and it also marks the beginning of the downtrend. Now we are going downtrend. We now expect also 1, 2, 3 levels going down. I think this is so clear, right? Okay, how then do we identify peaks, right? On identification of peaks, right, I just want to show you something here. Let me rush into my gallery. I've got some screenshots which I took. Okay, yeah, let me see if, okay, let me go back into my MT5, right? I will show you there how we identify peaks, right? The first thing is that we identify peaks. Let me show you on my notes what I wrote. Identification of peaks. First thing, peaks do happen on the 800 EMA. Okay, so we come to our charts, right? We check where is our 800 EMA, which is the black on my charts, right? If you can see, this was the head and shoulder which I told you about. If you can see, the peak was formed on the 800 EMA. When we say on the 800 EMA, we don't mean that the price will actually bounce off on the 800 EMA then change direction just like that. Mind you, this is the market. They cannot do something so silly that every time you know that the market will hit the 800 EMA and go up. No, sometimes they have to play around that position. The way when they are playing around the position, if you check on lower time frames, they are trying to exhaust the lower time frames before changing direction. But if you can see here, the market then changed direction and moved upwards. So usually we want to see our markets turning point around the 800 EMA, which is the black EMA, right? Let me look for another one. Here, if you can see here, we have got a nice aim forming on the 800 EMA. Then here, okay, let me put something so that you can see here. If you can see, that is the 800 EMA, and we have got this aim. Let me try to make the aim clear. This was something like this going up. We've got something like this one. Then we need something, another one, another arrow going up. I want to try to make a better aim here, which is a little bit much visible. Let me rub this one so that you can see what I'm trying to do here. Okay, um another here, yeah, something like this. Yeah, if you can see, we are having those arrows are trying to give you an information, right? But if you check here, now let me put the arrow pointing the 800 EMA. If you can see, this is the 800 EMA. Here is where price acted before changing direction. If you can see price, this is the H1 time frame. If you can see, price moved nicely down, think it moved from, if you can check, that was 11 June up until something like 16, 17, maybe 18 June. Price was just falling. So usually we expect price to change direction at 800 EMA. So that is where we expect to see our peaks forming, right? Allow me to remove these ones. Yeah, sometimes price might not form peaks at the 800 EMA. So we have to have another way of deducing our 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 peaks, right? We can look at point number 2, shark fin at first leg H4 time frame in extreme levels of TDI. Okay, let me come here, let me try to look at H4 and see. Right, is this a proper shark fin? Yeah, it's a small one. Let me see if I can get a bigger one. Right here, if you can see, when we talk about the shark fin, a shark fin is the movement outside the Bollinger Bands on our TDI. So we come here, if you can see there, let me try to, yeah, there, where my point is arrow, where my arrow is pointing, the green movement that went out of the Bollinger Bands then returned. So that kind of movement whereby price shoots out of the Bollinger Bands and then returns is what we call shark fin. And if you wanna see here, if I put this thing, you can see where here, this is where our shark fin is, and we come on the main chart here, you can see with the peak forming here. So this is another way you can deduce peaks, whereby using shark fin at H4 time frame. In the TDI, if you can check our TDI, our MPO line, which is MPO line, let me mark for you the MPO line, which is the yellow line, this one. The MPO line is at the extreme levels, it is at around 62. So we can say it is at the extreme levels. So that was for point 2. Let's check what does point 3 say. Count levels or ADR at H1 time frame. Okay, we want to jump back to H1 time frame, right? We want to see our peak and try to count levels, right? Or our ADR. Yeah, we come and check, do we really have three pushes down before we reached this? Okay, allow me to remove something here. All right, from this peak, let me mark the peak that I'm referring to. This peak up to this peak, right? Price gave us 3 pushes down. Let's see which are the pushes that I'm talking about. The first one, this is the first push from here up to here, here up to here. That was the first push. Let me demarcate these points by the red arrow. Right. We need another red zone here to demarcate these 3 ADRs. Right. This, yeah. So we said that was this one was the first ADR or a push. We need to mark the second ADR here, from now here up to here. This was the second ADR. Then our third ADR or push was from here to here. So we can clearly see that this region was a peak after having completed first, second, and third ADR. Then we had this peak, right? So this is how we can identify peaks. Then we want now to move to how do you enter peak trades. Okay, usually I wanna tell you to enter peak trades at the second leg. Why? Let me give you something here. You see, having completed our first, second, and third level, right? The market might make this first leg. This is our first leg, right? This is our first leg. The second leg might be higher than the first leg, and if your equity is too small, this movement I have highlighted, this movement will chop you out before the market makes the proper downtrend direction. So it is wise that you wait for price to make the first leg, then it makes the second leg, and you try to find your entry in the second leg, right? Okay, also in the second leg, it picks, we can look for EMAs. We can use our EMAs to enter. One might wait for the candle. Let's say this is the 13 EMA. The 13 EMA is usually red, right? So we wait for the candle, shift candle. Wait for the shift candle that closes below the 13 EMA. So after this closing candle below the 13 EMA, we can take our trades downwards. Why? Because usually after price managed to close below the 13 EMA, it usually doesn't shoot back upwards, usually most of the times. So for peak trades, one might then use the 13 EMA strategy for entering trades. Okay, also we can wait for we can check our TDI, the traders dynamic divergence indicator, the traders dynamic index, right? Our TDI, the traders dynamic index. Here, if you see here, let me put some arrows here. If you see here, right, where I've put the arrow on the traders dynamic index, if you can check, that was a boundary bounce off. When the price bounce off the boundary at the extreme levels, you can, if you can see, our RSI, the relative strength index, is at level 70, and price bounce off the boundary bound. We call it a boundary bounce off because those blue Bollinger Bands are the boundary of the price. That can also be used as an entry at peak trades, right? So we can also look for boundary. We can also look for MBL bounds. What is it that we refer to as MBL bounds? This yellow line is what we call our MBL, which we refer to as the market baseline. The market baseline tells us a lot of information about the market sentiment, right? So if price managed to bounce like this, if price managed to bounce on this, like where I've pointed there, on this MPL, especially at level 40, if it is the second leg, you are being signaled to take your trades. So this is what I had to say about pick trades. I hope you had a better lesson. So guys, some of you are still beginners, so some of the info might not make sense. If you wanna get hold of me, you can inbox me on my WhatsApp platform. The number I think I left the number on my description. So good night, traders. Have a successful trading journey. I will make sure that I will put another upload about the full detail of traders dynamic index, so that you can use this powerful tool on your trading journey. This is for now. Stay well, keep on looking on the charts and try to analyze your charts, try to understand how the market moves. Goodbye.